What's up, everybody? Tim Anderson here, aka Renfail, and I have fallen down the rabbit hole of Destiny 2. Oh boy. I have not played this game since Nathan Fillion was still around voicing the character of, was it Cade, I think maybe? The roguish guy. That was whenever Nolan North came in to replace him as the voice actor, and then I think they somehow worked him out of the story. I don't know. Whenever that happened, whenever Nolan North replaced um, Nathan Fillion, that was when I stopped playing Destiny 2. And I didn't play it from launch. I played it from a while after launch. But I did enjoy it and played it quite a lot for about 6 or 7 months, just going through all of the story campaign up to that point. Played a lot with my brother as well. We played Destiny 1 together. I never played that game solo. I always played it with my brother. And so I'm not a hardcore Destiny 2 fan, but I did enjoy it quite a bit between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. And just having not touched it in a long time, I was genuinely curious because every time I go on like these different gaming news websites, I always see information about Destiny 2 and people saying, it's just gotten better with age. The game continues to do good things. The storyline's great and all this other stuff. And I said, what the hell? I haven't done this in quite some time. I can treat this as my personal little thing. Like I don't know that I'll stream any Destiny 2. I'm just doing this for my own fun. Usually in the wee hours of the morning when I'm waking up with coffee before I've got my recording face on. 'Cause no one needs to see that. In any case, and I've been having a lot of fun, and I kind of wanted to put together this video to talk about, is the game worth it in 2023? I really think it is. I think that it has a lot going for it. Obviously, my perspective on things is a little different than people who might be playing this all the time and have like a veteran's perspective. So take that into account when you listen to this video because my perspective is that of a player who was once familiar with it but has fallen away for a few years and is coming back to it and trying it out. So with that in mind, we're going to get into the review here, but don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you never miss an update, and don't forget to support the channel. You can do premieres with super chats just like you can on a live stream or on these uploads. You can do super thanks. You can also do memberships. We have 3 different tiers below, and we have a Patreon page for our own point-and-click adventure game, tabletop world, and book series. Check all that stuff out with our Discord. Links are down there below. Let's get into the meat of this review. So I think for me, one of the most important aspects of any game that I play, doesn't matter whether it's a console game, a PC game, whatever, I need there to be good story. And one of the things I've always appreciated about Destiny and Destiny 2 is that as a general rule, the story is what makes the game for me. It does look really good. I like the shooter aspect. I like being able to come in and tweak my configurations and get the responsiveness up because especially having just come away from playing a few months of Warzone 2 and the DMC, the default controls in this game were quite sluggish, and so I had to crank the sensitivity way up and yeah, but being able to get everything fine-tuned and tweaked the way I wanted it has made the gameplay a little bit more exciting. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's like any game that you're going to play for any significant amount of time. The gameplay can get a little bit repetitive over the course of many hours of the game, but I'd like to think that the combination of single player content with open world content and then the instances that you can go into and beyond provide you with a wide range of challenges. Like some areas are really easy to do by yourself, and other areas it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna get wrecked over and over. Especially if you're going into something where your power level is a little too low. If you're like, 50 or 100 under the power level. You might have to try something a few times, but the challenge can be there if you want it to be, but you can also choose to just go do stuff that doesn't have really any challenge rating to it. But story is the thing that gets me going, and what I like about this is the way they've broken things up into campaigns versus just like the open world content where you can go run around and do like the bounties and all these things on the patrols, I think is what they're called actually. But you can go do the bounties and patrols, and those are just like things that you can do anywhere in the world, or you can do them in the instances, so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff to do, but there's tons of campaigns at this point because the game is launched. I don't even know how many expansions, and I guess they got a new expansion getting ready to come out. But the thing that I noticed right away, because I hadn't played in years, was when I started the game, they have a brand new introduction series to the game, which I believe came with the Beyond the Light expansion, which was, I think, 2020. So 3 years ago was when that expansion came out, and they added a brand new player experience to the game. And I gotta say, having come back into it, having not played it for so many years, in many ways it felt like a new game, and I had to relearn the controls and everything else. But at the same time, um, I was playing through it going, these quest lines seem a lot more streamlined than I remember the starting experience being, and I didn't realize that they had added that new player experience until I went online and looked at it and went, "Oh, snap! They actually redesigned the whole new player onboarding process just a couple of years ago." So it's very, very streamlined now in the sense that it teaches you how to play the game in its entirety. You learn everything you need to learn about all the various types of gear, all the various types of skills and abilities and fragments and the tiers that you can get and the various modifications that you can put on weapons and armor and the different types of ways that you can configure your archetype. So you could be a warlock, but you could be void, solar, or I think the other one's arc. As an example, you have three different ways of playing that class. It's just there's a ton of information that previously was not sort of given to you right away. You had to play the game for long periods of time and just sort of figure it out as you went along. But now it's all up front. So I'm probably at this point over the past few days, I'm maybe 20 hours in. I've been playing quite a bit over the last few days because I got a bunch of my week's work pre-recorded, and so I was just getting up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning with the cats, and then I just will play until 4 or 5 in the morning. So I've had quite a few days now to sink my teeth in, and I really like the progression these days. It feels a lot more linear than it used to be, not just with the new player experience, but that new player experience leads you on to these different planets, and from there, it's very easy to go in and do these campaigns for the different planets and everything else. And then meanwhile, there's also all the new stuff that I haven't touched yet. I think it's called the Witch Queen, maybe as of this recording, and that's that's what's out right now. It's the current expansion. Then they've got an upcoming expansion. So they apparently are still continuing to crank content out for this game, which leads me back around to the question of, is it worth it? Is this game worth it? And I have to say, absolutely. Like, I'm having fun, and I haven't dropped any cash on anything yet, and I'm already 20 hours in, and I haven't had to spend a dime. And for my money's worth, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, play on words there. The fact that I've already gotten 20 hours out of the game without even having to pay a dime speaks volumes to me in terms of the quantity of content that's available for you to enjoy. And that's one of the things I always look at before I'm willing to pony up and pay for something. Which and the last time I played this game was whatever that expansion was when they changed over for Nolan North. That was the last one that I played. Um, I always look back and make comparisons to Lord of the Rings Online because Lord of the Rings Online has so much content for free, like all the way up to Helm's Deep. You can get to level 95. I mean, that's 6, 8 months worth of content if you're playing like 3 times a week. And I don't know quite how much is available here in Destiny 2, but I do feel like that having already gotten 20 hours of free content out of it, and I haven't even done more than, I think I've done two main story arcs is all I've done yet, and I've started this Europa storyline this morning, which I have no idea how long that's going to take, but I just started that one. So, I mean, there's a lot to do, a lot to see. Um, this doesn't even cover like the online components of being able to go and do those instances, which I forget what they're called off the top of my head. Starts with a V. The Vendettas, maybe. No, that's the name of the quest that I'm looking at on screen right now. I don't remember what they're called. Anyway, Vanguards, perhaps, something like that. The instances are a lot of fun. They're quite challenging. And you can choose to run it with voice on or off. So Whether or not you want to talk to other people is entirely up to you. But we ran 2 yesterday, and I got to say the challenge rating was up there because we died like 6 or 7 times doing the instance on the final boss. And it was definitely a challenge. I was pleasantly surprised at how hard it was to complete one of the instances we did. Which it was just really cool going up against this Hive Queen and Hive Wizard Warlock creature and getting our butts kicked over and over and over and finally figuring it out. So that was really cool. So over and all, yeah, for me, I think that this game, I think that Destiny 2 is absolutely worth it in 2023. It's on all the consoles. You can get it on PC. I'm playing this on the Xbox Series X. It played really well. I didn't have any frame drops. It looks really good. Hell of a lot of fun. I've put a lot of time in so far. I can't wait to get deeper into it. 2023, absolutely worth it. I gotta say, at the moment, I am leaning towards I'm enjoying it so much that I wouldn't have a problem picking up the next expansion and just if they have like an all-in-one package so that I can get caught up to speed on all the different expansions that have come out in the past few years. The problem is I don't have time right at the moment because I'm already committed to playing Hogwarts Legacy when it comes out, and then Star Wars Jedi Sentinel when it comes out here in a little bit. So I've got 2 games that are going to keep me busy through February and March. So I'm going to keep going with this and see where I can get with the free content. And if I wrap up before those 2 games, great. If not, I might I might circle back around after I play those 2 games to get those off my plate, depending on when Starfield and Redfall and some other stuff are coming out. But I think I will be continuing to play Destiny 2 throughout the year. I'm not going to uninstall it. I'm going to keep it on the Xbox and just have it. Even if I'm only jumping in like once a week, I think there's enough content here to keep me busy. And I like to play shooters from time to time. And to be honest with you, I was getting really kind of bored with the DMZ and Warzone because it's repeatable, so there's only so much story you're going to get out of it before you've seen all the repeatables and everything else. Whereas Destiny 2, there's always another campaign I can work on, right? And then there's the online component where I can go to instances with people and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think it's worth it. If you want to play, let me know. Hit me up in Discord, here on YouTube, whatever. Get you my Xbox deets. You can just look me up as Renfill. You'll find me. Maybe we can play together at some point in time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can continue to get updates from me here on my channel. Support if you can with memberships, super chats, super thanks. Don't forget the Patreon page, Discord, and beyond. We'll see everybody in the next episode. Have fun, everybody. Happy gaming.